The underworld is not what the living imagine. It is not a place of punishment, though the punishments are there for those who deserve them. It is not a place of screaming and fire and endless torment, though such places exist in the deepest regions for the wicked. The underworld is, above all, a kingdom, and its king sits on a throne carved from obsidian, black as the void between stars. The halls of asphodel stretch in every direction, fields of ashen grass rippling in a wind that has no source. The river Styx flows silent and black, carrying shades across its waters with no sound but the dip of the ferryman's oar. And in the distance, past the asphodel meadows, the fields of Elysium glow with a gentle light that needs no sun, golden, warm, eternal. This is what Hades built. He did not choose this realm. He was given it, pushed into the darkness so that Zeus could have the sky and Poseidon could have the sea. But in the darkness, he built order. In the nothing, he created something. Every soul finds its place here. Every life is weighed in the balance. Every death ends with fairness. The judges sit in their halls, Rhadamanthus, Aeacus, and Minos, weighing hearts against the feather of Maat. The three-headed dog Cerberus guards the gate, letting the dead pass in but never out. The ferryman Charon rows his eternal passage, silent, patient, reliable. Hades walks among it all, unseen by the living, unprayed to by the mortals, forgotten by the world above. And in this kingdom of silence, there is a strange and quiet beauty. The shades drift like leaves on a wind that blows through eternity. The flowers of asphodel bloom in colors that have no names. The air itself tastes of something between peace and memory, the taste of endings, of completion, of rest. This is the underworld. This is the realm of the dead, and its king is not a tyrant. He is an administrator of eternity, a guardian of endings, a keeper of peace.
The world above does not think of him. While Zeus receives thunderous worship, temples on every hill, prayers in every storm, incense smoke rising from 1,000 altars, Hades sits in darkness. While Poseidon commands the reverent fear of sailors, offerings before voyages, sacrifices when storms arise, prayers when waves grow tall, Hades is left in silence. The mortals fear him, this is true. They whisper his name only in emergencies, speak of him only as the Lord of the Dead, avoid saying Hades aloud because they are afraid of drawing his attention. They do not build temples in his honor. They do not carve statues of his face. They do not tell stories of his adventures the way they tell stories of Zeus and his thunderbolts, or Athena and her wisdom. They simply try not to think about him. And this is the world that Hades knows, a world that looks away from him, that pushes him into the corners of myth, that treats him as an uncomfortable truth rather than a god to be worshipped. But the underworld thrives. The three-headed dog guards the gate, loyal and eternal. The judges weigh every soul with precision. The ferryman rows his endless passage. The fields of Elysium welcome the blessed. The rivers of the underworld flow in their appointed courses. Everything works because Hades built it to work. He took the realm no one wanted and made it into a kingdom. He took the darkness he was given and made it into something beautiful. He took the forgotten and made them matter. And no one on earth knows. No one on earth thanks him. No one on earth even thinks of him. He is the god of the underworld, the ruler of the dead, the king of silence. And he does the work that no one else will do.
In the private hours, when the judgments are complete and the souls have been guided to their places, Hades returns to his palace. The halls are not empty. There are shades, there are servants,
There are the endless attendants of an eternal court. But they are empty in the way that matters. No one speaks unless spoken to. No one lingers. No one stays. He sits on his obsidian throne, not the grand golden seat of Olympus, but something colder, something darker, something that absorbs light rather than reflecting it. And he listens to the silence. This is his kingdom. This is his life. This is his eternity. And for one moment, one brief, dangerous moment, he remembers. He was given the underworld as exile, not honor. He was pushed into the dark so that Zeus could have the sky. He was cast out so that his brothers could shine in the light. The story is told quickly in the myths, passed over in the tellings that focus on lightning and tridents, on wars and loves and the glorious adventures of the Olympians. Hades was the oldest brother. He had the first claim to the cosmos, and he was given the realm that no one wanted, the realm of death, the realm of darkness, the realm of forgotten things. He took it without complaint. He took it and he built it into something beautiful, and he never asked for anything in return, because that is what strong ones do. They do not fight for themselves. They do not demand recognition. They take what is given and they make it work. He is the strong one, the one who carries the weight, the one who does the work, the one who builds beauty from exile and asks for nothing. And he sits on his obsidian throne, and the silence echoes, and the darkness holds him, and he wonders, just wonders, what it would be like to be seen. The division happened quickly. When Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades overthrew their father Cronus and the Titans, they needed to divide the cosmos. The sky was desired by all. The sea was desired by many, but the underworld, the realm of death, the realm of darkness, the realm of the dead, no one wanted it. Zeus took the sky, Poseidon took the sea, and Hades was left with the rest. Not because he was the weakest, he was the oldest, the firstborn, the one who led the attack that freed his siblings from their father's stomach. He was not given the underworld because he was least deserving. He was given the underworld because no one else would take it. And he did not complain. This is the part the myths forget, the strength it took to accept what no one else wanted, the strength it took to walk into the darkness and build a kingdom there, the strength it took to become the god that no one would worship, the ruler that no one would love, the brother that no one would remember. He was the strong one. He was always the strong one. And the strong one does not fight for a better seat at the table. The strong one takes what is given and makes it work. He built the underworld into a functioning realm. He established the laws of death. He created the judgment system that ensures fairness. He organized the flow of souls, the processing of the dead, the eternal administration of endings. And he never asked for recognition. He never demanded worship. He never complained about being forgotten. He simply did the work. The cost of being the strong one is invisible. While the other gods receive prayers and sacrifices, Hades receives nothing. While Zeus sits on a golden throne and Poseidon rules the waves, Hades sits in darkness and rules the dead, and he never asks for anything. Temples are built to Zeus in every city. Temples are built to Poseidon in every port. Temples are built to Athena and Apollo and Aphrodite and all the Olympians who capture the human imagination. But temples to Hades? None. Shrines to the Lord of the Dead? Almost none. Prayers to the King of the Underworld? Almost never. The mortals fear him too much to worship him. They think of him only when they die, and then they try not to think of him at all. They call him by other names, the Shadow Lord, the King of Ghosts, the Keeper of the Dead, anything but his true name, as if avoiding his name might protect them from his attention. And Hades lets them forget. This is the quiet tragedy of the strong one. They do not fight for recognition. They do not demand to be seen. They do the work that needs to be done, and they let the world move on without thanking them.
because asking for thanks would be a kind of weakness, and the strong one cannot be weak. Hades walks through his kingdom, judging the dead, guiding the souls, maintaining the order, and the world above forgets him. The gods on Olympus exclude him, the mortals fear him, and he goes on, day after day, century after century, eternity after eternity, doing the work, carrying the weight, being the strong one.
In the hall of judgment, where every soul is weighed, there is a mirror of obsidian, a surface that does not reflect faces, but truths. Hades looks into it, as he does sometimes, when the weight of silence becomes too heavy, and he sees two figures: the king, silent, just, eternal; the ruler of the underworld, the judge of the dead, the keeper of the darkness. His face is grave but fair. His eyes see everything. His presence fills the hall like the presence of the void itself, vast, dark, all-encompassing. This is the face the underworld knows. This is the face the shades see when they arrive, confused and afraid, and find a ruler who judges fairly, who sends the wicked to punishment and the good to light. This is the face of the God who does his job perfectly, who maintains order in chaos, who carries the weight of every death without complaint. But behind the king, there is another figure, the brother, the oldest brother pushed into the dark so his siblings could shine, the one who was given the realm no one wanted and who built it into something beautiful and who never asked for anything in return. This figure is proud, quietly, stoically, unbreakably proud. But beneath the pride, there is a wound. He was forgotten, not by the dead who know him and respect him, but by the living who do not think of him, who do not pray to him, who do not build temples in his name. The two figures do not merge, they do not reconcile. They exist in the same being, the same God, the same king. The king carries the weight, the brother carries the wound, and the wall between them is made of everything he never says.
A prayer rises from earth. It is not to Hades. No one prays to Hades. But a dying woman, old, tired, ready, whispers into the darkness as her breath grows shallow. Thank you. Not to any god, not to Zeus or Athena or any of the Olympians, just to the darkness, just to the peace that is coming, just to the rest that awaits. And for one moment, the prayer reaches the underworld like a flicker of warmth in an endless winter. Someone is thanking him, not by name, not with intention, but thanking him nonetheless, thanking the darkness for its peace, thanking the rest for its arrival, thanking the Lord of the dead for his quiet work. Hades feels it, the warmth of the prayer, the gratitude of a mortal who has found peace. And he understands. Every soul that passes through his kingdom carries some form of gratitude. Every shade that finds peace in the fields of Elysium, every spirit that is judged fairly, every dead person who finds rest, they all owe him something. But they cannot give it. They are dead. They move on. They dissipate into the great river of endings, and they do not look back. And the living, the ones who are still breathing, who still have time, who still have the chance to thank him, they do not think of him. They fear him. They avoid speaking his name. They call him the Lord of the Dead, the King of Shadows, anything but Hades, as if avoiding his name might protect them from his attention. He lets them forget. He has always let them forget, because he is the strong one, and the strong one does not need to be remembered.
The truth he cannot avoid, no matter how many souls he guides, no matter how fair his judgments, no matter how beautifully he has built his kingdom from darkness. He is the most generous god in the Greek pantheon, and the most forgotten. Zeus gives lightning.
Poseidon gives storms. Apollo gives the sun and music and prophecy. Athena gives wisdom and victory. Every god gives something to the mortals who worship them. Every god has temples and altars and prayers. Rest, peace, fairness. He gives every soul a place. He gives every life an ending that means something. He gives the gift that every mortal eventually needs. The gift of rest, the gift of peace, the gift of an ending that is not suffering.
No worship, no temples, no prayers. The gods of Olympus feast and are praised, their names spoken in temples and homes and the daily prayers of the faithful. And Hades sits in his obsidian palace, doing the work that no one else will do, being the god that no one else wants to be. He built the underworld into a kingdom. He maintains order in chaos. He carries the weight of every death, the memory of every soul, the grief of all existence.
Nothing, not even acknowledgement. Is it better to be forgotten and free, or worshipped and chained? Is it better to do the work that matters without recognition, or to be praised for work that is easier to celebrate? He does not know the answer. He suspects he will never know.
The episode ends at the gate of the underworld. Hades stands where the living world meets the dead, the threshold between breath and silence, between light and darkness, between memory and forgetting. The river Styx flows beside him, black and patient. The ferryman waits, the three-headed dog sits at attention, and the souls come, always coming, never stopping, an endless flow of endings, the old and the young, the wicked and the good, the remembered and the forgotten. They come to his kingdom, and he welcomes them, and he judges them, and he gives them their place. He is the God no one prays to, the God no one remembers, the God who carries the weight of death so that the living can forget about it. And he does it anyway, every day, every century, every eternity. The strong one, the forgotten one, the one who builds beauty from exile and asks for nothing in return. The underworld is dark, the throne is cold, and Hades, the God who gives everything and receives nothing, remains, unseen, unthanked, unbroken. Or perhaps unbroken is not the right word.
Unseen, the darkness is deep, the silence is eternal, and the God no one prays to goes on giving, because that is what strong ones do. The work is done, the weight is carried, the kingdom runs, and the world above goes on living and loving and fighting and dying without ever once looking down into the darkness and saying, "Thank you." But Hades does not need thanks. He does not need worship. He does not need to be seen. He only needs to do the work. And the work goes on forever.